This world, as long as someone eats an insect, they awaken their unique mecha. Some people eat a pigeon mecha, naturally gaining wings to soar the skies. Some eat shark fins, transforming into rulers of the deep sea. Their combat power is extraordinary. There are even people with peka, who choose to eat glass, immediately gaining invisibility. In my previous life, even though I ate a roast chicken and successfully awakened my azure water mecha, it was completely useless. I was framed and ganged up on, ending up dead. Now that I've been reborn, the first thing to do is to eat all kinds of insects, so I can stand at the very top of the world, become the master of the insect race. Then I remembered that in my past life, there was an insect auction at an exhibition. One of them was exactly what I needed. Without much thought, I immediately called a cab to the insect exhibition. I happened to catch the auction for the insect I wanted. Next up for auction is the golden-backed scarab. Starting bid is 5,000. Each increase must be at least 500. Let the bidding begin. Golden-backed scarab. Never heard of it. You're not an insider, so it's normal you don't know. Do you know what a dung beetle is? No, I only know about mantises. Wow, you really don't know the basics. A chinglang is just a dung beetle. Except regular dung beetles are all black. This one has a golden back, which is why it's so expensive. I'll bid 8,000. A guy in glasses and a white collar shirt raised his sign and said, "The white collar guy is known as the bug fan, who usually likes to buy all kinds of strange bugs."
He's kind of famous in Ning City.
Just as the auctioneer was about to bring down the gavel, I walked straight up to the stage. Wait, I'll bid 10,000.
Ants
Can lift more than 400 times their own weight. But compared to the mantis, they're nothing. A mantis can lift 1,141 times its own weight. I know that with my current Mechas strength, there's no way to handle that kind of power. But absorbing this golden-backed scarab will definitely boost my fighting power immensely. Seeing someone jump in halfway unexpectedly, the bug fan was extremely frustrated. 10,500, 15,000, direct jump to 5,000. This kind of golden-backed dung beetle isn't really rare. At best, it's just a bit ornamental. Don't know why this guy wants it so badly. What do you want to do with it?
eat it.
You're buying it to eat it. Are you out of your mind? This guy is clearly crazy. Just let me have it for 8,000. The bug fan burst out laughing, tapped his head, then looked at the auctioneer. The auctioneer was a bit annoyed now. "Sir, if you're just here to mess around, I'll have to call security." "Can I pay by card?" Yes, you can. Please wait a moment. Let me see if anyone else will bid. 15,000 first call. 15,000 second call. Any more bids? 15,000 third call. Sold. People nowadays are really amusing. Eating grasshoppers, eating centipedes, eating scorpions, now someone's eating dung beetles. Aren't they afraid of eating themselves to death? The bug fan didn't get the golden-backed scarab, so he started getting all sarcastic. Other people looked at me like I was an idiot. 15,000 for a single bug. If it's for collecting or display, fine. But to eat it? They just couldn't wrap their heads around it. Seeing how calm I was, the bug fan got even angrier and started making fun of me, telling me to eat the golden-backed scarab right there. I didn't really want to bother with him, but then my eyes caught a small box in his hand. Inside there was a black and white insect. Ironclad beetle. Possesses the strongest exoskeleton of any arthropod. Unlike those regular insects that can be squashed with one step, it can even withstand being run over by a car. If the dung beetle represents strength, the ironclad beetle stands for defense. That ironclad beetle is yours? Yeah, it's mine. So what? If it's really yours, how about we make a bet? Later in front of everyone, I'll eat the golden-backed scarab, and you give me the ironclad beetle, deal? Sure, but you have to eat it. No problem. I looked at the clear box in my hand. Inside was a dung beetle with a golden back, crawling around. Every now and then it even dug at the dirt on the bottom. I opened the box, grabbed it firmly. Compared to the mutated creatures from my previous life, this dung beetle was practically gourmet food. Just twist off the head. Its protein is 6 times that of beef. I just popped it straight into my mouth, crunching it down. Seeing that scene, the crowd was instantly shocked by me swallowing it whole. They thought I would fry it first. After all, things like dragonflies and grasshoppers are fried first. But they never expected me to just swallow it raw. With a gulp, I swallowed it all, then held out my palm, signaling the bug fan to hand over the ironclad beetle. The bug fan's face turned pale, and very reluctantly he was about to hand over the small box. Hold on. I want that ironclad beetle. Before I could take it, an arrogant voice rang out. Then a young man arrived, with 2 burly guys in black tank tops. This was none other than En Honghai, the young master of Fengyue Group. Someone recognized the young man's identity and exclaimed in surprise. The rest were stunned, remembering the rumors about En Honghai. This guy's a total rich playboy, always drinking, eating, and partying. He spends tons of money every single day, just looking for something new. Looks like lately he's bored with birds and switched to bugs instead. When I heard that name, I narrowed my eyes slightly. En Honghai, owner of the Red Rhino Mecha. If memory serves, the En Honghai in front of me would one day become Ning City's top master. Red Rhino Mecha, incredibly powerful, could even smash a mountain if it charged full force. For years before the disaster, I lived entirely under En Honghai's control. If I hadn't taken the chance to sneak out for food and slipped away, I probably would have ended up a pile of bones by now. After absorbing the mantis gene, I completed the first stage common bug soldier Mecha, evolving into a Titan Mecha form. Seeing the Titan Mecha's stats, I was overjoyed. Although the other 3 stats are low, just the strength stat alone is already 2nd stage Mecha grade. Not to mention it has a truly incredible exclusive module that boosts strength by 50% and can even be upgraded further, just as I expected. The higher the quality of the insect genes absorbed, the stronger the modified mech based on them will be. Thinking of this, I directly took the ironclad beetle from Bug Fan's hand. Since I followed through with the bet, the ownership of this insect belongs to me. Can you transfer this insect to me? I'll pay double the price. Sorry, I don't need money. Seeing more people gathering around, I frowned. I planned to leave. With so many people around, if a mutation happens, even he wouldn't be able to handle it. I said, hand over that insect to me. Didn't you hear me? Seeing me refuse him so directly, En Honghai gave a cold smile.
He signaled the bodyguards behind him to block me.
Facing the 2 people surrounding me, a trace of hostility rose in my heart. In an instant, the overwhelming killing intent accumulated from my previous life erupted. It scared both of them so much they didn't dare come closer. Interesting, in Ning City, there aren't many who dare disrespect me like this. Kid, don't mistake my kindness for weakness. En Honghai walked up to me, reaching out to grab the box in my hand. I slapped his hand away. Without looking back, I walked out. Everyone else was shocked. This was no longer just an issue of giving respect or not. This was like rubbing En Honghai's face into the ground. En Honghai's face turned livid. He glared fiercely at the 2 bodyguards. The bodyguards gritted their teeth and lunged violently toward my back. Just as they were about to kick me, a flash of golden light suddenly burst out behind me, and the next second, a nearly 3-meter-tall, black and gold, impressive mech formed. The front of the mech was an abyssal black, glinting with a cold shimmer. Looking closely, you could see protruding spikes all over it. The back was a golden disc, with thick joints extending along the disc's edges. The limbs weren't separate pieces, but connected like an elephant's legs. It looked like a strange hydraulic pump. At this moment, the Titan mech could already cover my whole body. From a distance, an ancient, powerful aura erupted, making many people weak in the knees with fear. With the mech's sudden appearance, and looking up at this massive machine, En Honghai panicked inside, but still forced himself to appear calm. My friend, let's talk this out peacefully. My dad is the chairman of Fengyue Group. We have plenty of resources and money. Why don't we pretend nothing happened just now and be friends instead? I chuckled softly. The massive arm rose high in the air, releasing a terrifying sense of pressure, like a blizzard about to sweep through. And Honghai suddenly collapsed to the ground, facing this kind of monster. The fact that he didn't wet or soil himself was enough proof of his strong mentality. I didn't actually attack, just made a feint. Don't worry, I'm not going to do anything now. We'll meet again. Then I pressed down lightly with my foot and shot off like a spring. In just a few moves, I vanished from everyone's sight, watching me leave, and Hong Hai's face contorted, and his gaze turned vicious. I've got my eye on you now. So what if that kid has a mech? It's not like his family lacks military connections. If the army gets involved, forget a 3-meter tall mech. Even a 30-meter one wouldn't scare us. After all, modern military power is more than most can imagine. But what he doesn't know is, once the mutation starts, most things will fundamentally change. By then, all weapons will just be scrap metal. The only thing anyone can rely on is their own awakened signature mech. After leaving the expo, I deactivated my mech and went home. The reason I didn't deal with in Hong Hai was just because I wanted his mech core. The Titan mech is just a tier 1 for now. To upgrade it, besides required materials, I also need a mech core. As the name suggests, the mech core is a part of a mech pilot. That's the most important to them. It only drops after awakening one signature mech. So, that's why I let Hong Hai go. I plan to take his Honxi mech core in the future. Sitting at the computer desk, I took out what I just got from Bugfan, an ironclad beetle. Ironclad beetle, also known as the hard-shell beetle or armor beetle, is a type of coleopteran insect, famous for its extraordinarily tough shell. If I hadn't looked it up online earlier, I absolutely wouldn't have recognized this bug. I didn't waste any time. Fired up the pan with oil, and then sprinkled some cumin and chili powder. Crunch, crunch. Compared to the golden-backed dung beetle, the ironclad beetle's meat is tougher, especially that hard armored shell on the outside. It felt like chewing on eggshells. I suspect if I hadn't fried it, I probably couldn't have bitten into it at all. Right then, a semi-transparent countdown timer appeared in front of me. Ironclad beetle genes acquired. Currently modifying Tier 1 Bug Soldier General Purpose Mech. Modification time, 59 minutes 58 seconds. Looks like, in the early stages, the Bug Soldier General Purpose Mech is the basic mech. All modifications happen on this one. I wonder if later on, even stronger general purpose mechs will appear. Started the modification. I thought to myself, after the catastrophe begins, all kinds of creatures evolve rapidly, not to mention later on. Other alien races will invade on a large scale, and there are even so-called deities appearing. I clearly remember in my past life, one deity was named Quentin. He was reborn with a human head. If I could absorb him, imagine how powerful my mech would be. Maybe then I could even slay a god. Shaking off these random thoughts, my attention returned once again to the now modified Titan mech. The Titan mech has outstanding strengths, but the weaknesses are clear too. Low defense and slow speed. These are serious flaws. For defense, I can switch to the celestial mech in time, so that's not a big worry. The main issue is still agility, which needs to be improved urgently. Even though the catastrophe will officially start the day after tomorrow, there are already many mutated creatures now. Killing them drops mech enhancement materials. If I'm lucky, maybe I can get a few in advance. Materials that enhance agility, and with super fast speed. The Titan mech's power will only grow. Speaking of enhancement materials, that reminds me of something else. The place I'm staying in is rented, and the landlord is a woman. Tomorrow she mutate and run around biting people. She was finally taken away by the soldiers who arrived after hearing the news. If I kill her after she mutates myself, I might be able to get some decent enhancement materials. After all, there was a rumor in my previous life that killing mutated creatures before the Great Cataclysm started greatly increased the drop rate. While I was lost in thought, there was a knock at the door. I opened the door. The first thing I saw was a pair of long, fair legs. Looking up, 2 plump mounds came into view. Where are you looking? So rude. Let me tell you. Pay your rent in full tomorrow, and then move out. Did you hear me? Isn't tomorrow still not here yet? What's the rush? I stared at the woman in front of me, my eyes full of suspicion. I'm just worried she might collect the rent but not live long enough to spend it. Seeing me still staring straight at her, the woman became even more aggressive. On one hand, she said the rent she asked for was low, and that I should be grateful. On the other hand, she complained that I damaged all her apartments. After a string of nagging, all my rent and deposit were withheld by the woman for various reasons. But right now, he didn't have the mind to listen to the woman's nagging. The system notification sounded again. Titan beetle gene absorption complete. Stage 1 Insect Soldier Universal Mech has advanced to Celestial Domain Mech form. Celestial Domain increases physical resistance by 50% and elemental resistance by 20%. After completing the mech advancement, the Celestial Domain Mech can be further enhanced. It's even stronger than I imagined, especially the 50% physical damage reduction. Even attacks from Stage 2 monsters aren't something I need to fear anymore. And 20% elemental resistance is extremely precious. Not only can it defend against wind, fire, lightning, and other elemental attacks, it can also nullify mental damage. The mental attacks from monsters in my previous life really gave me a hard time. But this time around, I can finally retaliate without holding back. Before I could calm myself down, another notification popped up. Prompt: continue absorbing 3 types of Zerg genes to complete mech form fusion. Mech form fusion? I was shocked. My heart began pounding wildly. Now this is a real god-tier skill. Once the fusion happens, it will patch up the weak spots of single-form mechs. I'll have no more weaknesses. No wonder it's a super god-grade talent. The effect really is game-breaking. Hey, I'm talking to you. Are you deaf? Did you hear me? Suddenly, the woman threw the bloody item in her hand aside. Her eyes turned red. Her eyeballs nearly popped out as she glared at me. She mutated ahead of schedule. Huang Ting was a little startled. The black and white Celestial Domain Mech automatically covered the surface of my body. The woman slowly approached me, with flesh constantly growing on her body. In the blink of an eye, she transformed into a giant of flesh almost 3 meters tall, with 2 sharp claws. The next second, she came at me, claws howling through the air. I dodged to the side. Combat techniques from my past life flooded back to me, and I easily evaded her attack. The claws swept past, but the Celestial Domain Mech, as if slicing through tofu, let the claws sink smoothly in, chipping away at the concrete wall behind. Having missed her strike, the woman pulled her claws back and continued her assault. This time, I didn't dodge. I wanted to see just how strong the Celestial Domain Mech's defense really was. The claws scraped across the mech's surface, making a harsh screeching sound. After the attack, the woman's hands were bloody messes. Her nails shattered, while the Celestial Domain Mech didn't have a single scratch. Inside the mech, I didn't feel a thing. It was as if the attack never happened. Celestial Domain Mech's capabilities really are amazing. Now it's my turn. I shouted in a low voice and slammed the woman into the wall. Then I switched to Titan Mech and crushed her head with a punch. Killing the mutated blood corpse dropped a material. Agile blood core. Bloodstones are the most common mutated monster drops, usually yielding blood-related supplies. Mainly strength and defense attributes. As for agility attributes, they exist, but are extremely rare. I really didn't expect to get this lucky and actually get a blood core that boosts agility. After a bit of thought, I decided to use this blood core on the Titan Mech. Different materials have different uses. Generally speaking, this knowledge is only known by top-class mech enhancers. In my previous life, to upgrade my mechs, I was always groveling in front of mech enhancers, having no dignity at all. Thinking back to those days, I silently vowed to myself that I would never live like that again. People were dissatisfied with the monopoly of mech enhancers, so they worked out a lot of their own ways to use enhancement materials. This blood core is one of them. It's actually simple to use. Just crush it and let the blood essence drip onto the mech. I squeezed gently with my hand and heard a cracking sound. The agile blood core broke open abruptly, with dark red blood oozing out. It dripped onto the surface of the mech. After absorbing the blood, the Titan Mech developed a dark red stripe on its surface, about a centimeter wide, with glimmers flashing every now and then. Very impressive. Used up the agile blood core. Agility attribute +1. 4 points of agility still don't feel like enough. I thought to myself quietly, since agility isn't enough, Then I'll find the fastest insect. After checking around, I found two options. One is the dragonfly. The other is the tiger beetle. But in terms of speed, the dragonfly is definitely faster. Plus, it can fly. But the environment in the air is more complicated than on land, and much more dangerous. For the sake of survival, I'd better hold off for now, so I'll choose the tiger beetle. Tiger beetles can move 171 times their body length per second. If I scale that to my 1.8-meter height, that's over 1,000 kilometers per hour. That's nearly as fast as the speed of sound. So let's set the next target. I want to keep looking for more information about insects. Suddenly, my phone on the desk started buzzing loudly. This wasn't my usual number, but a new line I just got recently. Hello, is this Mr. Huang Ting? If you have something to say, make it quick. My time is really tight. My name is Chu Jiazheng. I'm very interested in that thing you possess. And I've also had some strange things happen here. Maybe you would know something. Chu Jiazheng, the richest man in Ning City in both real estate and catering. Compared to this big shot, Feng Hua Group is basically nothing. That thing he has. Looks like the Chu family is dealing with something big too. In my past life, the only reason in Honghai controlled Ning City was simply because Chu Jiazheng wasn't there. I'd like to invite Mr. Huang Tian to my place. What do you think? My thoughts returned to the present, faced with Cau Jiazheng's invitation. I agreed instantly. At the early stage of the mutation, everything is chaotic. Alone, I'll always be weak. If I have a powerful force to back me up, maybe things will go smoother. Besides, it's said that Chu Jiazheng owns a huge botanical garden, filled with all kinds of rare flowers, and countless insects. Though tiger beetles are common, in this modern jungle of steel, they're still hard to find in the city. On one hand, I can rely on the Chu family's power to get through the mutation. On the other, I can find tiger beetles for mech upgrades, killing two birds with one stone. Alright, I already have a driver waiting for you downstairs. Unfortunately, I'm too busy to greet you myself. Otherwise, I'd pick you up personally. Inside the giant botanical garden, all kinds of plants are laid out beautifully, like a gorgeous painting. An occasional insect flying by makes the scene come alive. Chu Jiazheng waves over more than 40 bodyguards in black and has them spread out to every corner. His daughter, Yu Hui, is very confused by this. Dad, didn't you say you were free? And what are all these people for? You saw that video too. You know what that mech represents. I'm only doing this out of concern for safety. Don't be silly. She quickly understood what her father meant. It's true, in front of that terrifying mech, you can never be too careful. If he gets violent, even these bodyguards might not be able to stop him. We probably need the military. An hour later, I arrived at the botanical garden smoothly, rode a small electric shuttle for about 10 more minutes. Then I finally saw Chu Jiazheng sitting under a mushroom-shaped pavilion. Beside Chu Jiazheng was a girl with a single ponytail, wearing a black tank top and white pants. She wasn't very tall, but really attractive, and her long legs caught my eye. I chuckled, sat down by the pavilion. If it weren't for my past experiences, I'd definitely be uneasy now, might even embarrass myself. But now I've even met the gods, so I'm definitely not freaked out by something like this. Chu Jiazheng had been observing me from the start. Noticing how composed I was, he couldn't help but look surprised. From his investigation, I'm usually a very gentle, even a bit timid person. But the way I feel now is sharp and confident, almost dangerous. He actually sensed that I might be an opponent. Interesting for someone to make me feel this. It's usually business veterans in their 40s or 50s. It's the first time I've seen it in someone so young. What's more interesting is, I actually felt a bit of fear inside. Mr. Huang Ting, the reason I invited you today. Just call me Wang Ting. I'm here today. First, for the strange things you mentioned. Second, because I need to borrow some of your resources. You're pretty straightforward. No other choice. After all, the end of the world is coming soon. The end of the world? You mean the Mayan prophecy? You've watched too many movies. Isn't it possible? Their prophecy was off by one cycle. The real apocalypse isn't 2012. But 2026, Mr. Chu. Don't test me. And don't be afraid of me either. As long as you don't harm my interests, I won't do anything to you. On the contrary, we might even work together. You're serious about the end of the world. Of course, as I guessed. Those strange things you mentioned must be related to that. It's fine to let him look. We're all going to experience it in 2 days anyway. Seeing how firm I was, Chu Jiajing hesitated for a moment, then led us to a corner of the garden, where there was a strange building, with 10 bodyguards at the entrance. Look, all of them are armed and well-equipped. Boss, there's trouble. The captain handed over a tablet, showing surveillance footage, split into 4 zones. The scene was enough to make your skin crawl. In the first 3 cameras, most of the area was covered by some kind of bizarre flesh. I took one look and instantly recognized them as the common blood fiends. Blood fiends have no intelligence. They're extremely voracious and will devour every living thing before them, even their own kind. Once a blood fiend reaches level 4, the massive ones become blood fiend nests, producing even more blood fiends. In my previous life, these things were a nightmare for everyone. The last camera was different. There was only one, a tall woman about 2 meters high. The woman just had her head down at first. Then, as if sensing she was being watched, she suddenly looked up, revealed a pair of pitch-black eyes. Then, like a wild animal, she instantly lunged at the camera and crushed it with one hand. Seeing this, everyone but me visibly trembled. It's actually an elite mutant. Even I didn't expect that. The catastrophe hasn't even started yet, and an elite-level mutant has already appeared. Mutated creatures are ranked from Tier 1 to Tier 9, from lowest to highest. Each tier is divided into 3 levels: normal, elite, and leader. Beyond these 3 levels, there is also an extremely rare special mutant. But those monsters only show up later on. He's the captain of my bodyguard squad. Her name is Lisa. She's been acting strange since yesterday. I had no choice but to lock her up here. Although I don't know what I mean by elite-level mutant, the people of Shujiazan still sensed that something was off.
He introduced it.
I nodded to show I understood. I pushed open the door, planning to enter. These mutants can all drop materials, especially that elite-level mutant. It might even drop water affinity magic. That could let the mech gain skills. How could I possibly miss this chance? Wait, entry is forbidden here. The bodyguard captain slung his gun with one hand and blocked me with the other. Yang, don't be rude to our guest. Chujiazan's expression shifted slightly, carefully observing my face. Sorry about Yang. He's just worried about your safety. I waved my hand, indicating that I didn't mind. With a thought, the golden-backed giant god mech automatically attached itself to me. When they saw the tall, powerful, and stunning mech, Chujiazan couldn't keep calm anymore. His face was shocked. Even Chu, who his eyes lit up. He specializes in materials science, but still has no idea where that mech on Wangting came from, or what materials it's made of. As for Yang, he was so stunned that he couldn't even speak. He could only watch as I strode toward the unusual building. Suddenly, a burst of gunfire rang out. Mixed in were the angry roars of monsters and the curses of others. This is bad. Something happened. Captain Yang's expression changed. He instinctively looked at Chujiazan. Chujiazan's face also grew tense. After all, he knew how terrifying those monsters are. Back then, to catch 4 monsters, over 30 people on his side died. And that was even with guns. If they hadn't had guns, the death toll would have at least doubled. He had been through countless major crises. He was even calmer than Yang. He looked up at me, his eyes thoughtful. Boss, we really should leave now. If we don't leave now, it'll be too late. No, I trust Wang Ting. He seems to know where those monsters come from. Who knows, that mech on him might be made specifically to counter these monsters. Chujiazan didn't leave. His years of experience told him. I definitely have a trump card. Yang knew he couldn't persuade him, so he quickly tapped on his tablet. Soon, more surveillance footage appeared, clearly showing the blood corpse in room 2 suddenly going berserk, charging out of the room. It was slaughtering the guards inside. The guards here are even better equipped than the bodyguards outside, but against such a gigantic blood corpse, they couldn't do anything. Quite a few guards had already been torn apart by the blood corpse and absorbed into its body. As it kept devouring, the blood corpse's aura became more and more violent. The surviving guards finally stopped resisting and fled one after another. Just then, a black and gold mech pushed past the guards, heading toward the depths of the building.
Boss.
None of our brothers could stand against that monster. Are you sure your guest can handle it? Dad, have Wang Tangshan come back. Let the military handle monsters like this. After the two of them tried to persuade him, Chu Jiazhen also realized he'd been too hasty. He waved his hand, gesturing for Alangi to go in and bring me back. By now, I'd already collided with the blood corpse in its berserk state. Unlike the slow zombies in zombie movies, the blood corpse is much larger, far stronger, and every bit as agile. The blood lion's massive fist came smashing down, narrowly missing the royal guard's body. The marble-paved floor instantly cracked with spiderweb-like fissures. Pretty strong. As expected, even with enhanced agility and upgrades, the Titan mech is still a bit slower. If that's the case, let's just finish this quickly. I strode forward and rammed hard into the blood corpse. That hit was tremendous. Standing 4 meters tall, the blood corpse, even taller than a 1-story building, was sent flying backward. It crashed into the wall behind it. Even the people outside from Chujia town could feel tremors all around them. Aliang gulped nervously, a mix of fear and shock on his face. Is he even human? Back then, just to move this monster, we needed 2 10-ton cranes. That's why I told you to show him some respect. Now you know the power he commands. Whether it's him personally or his backers, the team that develops such a powerful mech, none of them are people you want to mess with. Moreover, the emergence of such monsters, along with Lisa's transformation, fills me with a strong sense of unease. Like something big is about to happen. On the screen, I gave the blood corpse no chance to catch its breath, rushed at it again, and slammed a fist into its chest. The current Titan mech isn't yet equipped with any modules, which are basically like skills in a game, so it can only do standard attacks using its body parts. Even so, the blood corpse could hardly stand up to it. A full 30 points of strength, already on par with a tier 2 mech, and with a dedicated module boosting it. My punch packs 45 points of power, let alone flesh and blood. Even a wall made of reinforced concrete would be shattered in one blow. A second later, the enormous iron fist tore straight through the blood corpse's body. And didn't stop there. It punched right through the wall behind as well, finally coming to a halt. Killed a tier 1 mutated blood corpse. Acquired material, strength blood box. When used to upgrade mechs, it can slightly boost strength attributes. Just then, a red glow radiated from my body. Moments later, a stream of blood-red power appeared. I grabbed it and stepped outside. From the surveillance footage just now, that elite mutant which Lisa became was lightning fast. Taking action myself now would only end in certain defeat. I'll wait until the tiger beetles are found and the new mech is modified. Then make my move. Outside, I retracted my mech suit and walked out calmly. CHU, who was the first to rush over and examine me. Strange, such a huge mech. Where did you hide it? What kind of technology is this, anyway? Hearing his questions, I felt a bit awkward. I only know I can summon my own mech, but I really have no clue where it comes from, or what technology is involved. Fortunately, the people from Chujia town didn't let CAU, who would keep making a scene. Someone pulled him back. To deal with such a monster, you must be truly talented despite your youth. Mr. Huang Qing, I admit defeat. It was my mistake earlier. You can deal with me however you see fit. It's nothing. You'll understand soon enough.
Taking out a blood lion like that is really nothing special.
Mr. CHU, I need your help with something. What is it? Just say the word. As long as I can do it, I'll definitely help you. I'd like your help in finding a particular kind of insect. There are plenty of tiger beetles in my garden. Aliang, go catch some tiger bugs for me. Yes, sir. Aliang replied firmly, waving for a few black-clad bodyguards to follow. He didn't look even a bit impatient. Tiger beetles are widespread, and with so many people helping, it didn't take long at all. Aliang soon returned carrying a glass jar. Inside was exactly the tiger beetle I needed. Are you planning to eat it? Thinking back to what happened at the exhibition, Si Chu Hui asked in surprise. I didn't deny it, after all being here meant word of what happened at the exhibition had already gotten out. I didn't mind at all, since no one else knows my secret. Even if they guess that my mechs are connected to the insects I've eaten, there's nothing they can do about it. That's the confidence that comes from having a god-tier talent. I took the jar, poured out the tiger beetle, and with quick reflexes, grabbed the escaping bug and popped it in my mouth. Tiger beetle gene acquired. Modification of Tier 1 Universal Insect Mech underway. Estimated time, 2 hours, 59 minutes, 57 seconds. A 3-hour modification isn't too long. Huang Tian, what are you planning to do with the rest of those creatures? As for the elite mutant, I'll deal with it personally in a bit. As for the other 2 blood corpses, I'll have to leave those to you and Miss Si Qiu Hui. You want us to step in? Is this related to that mech suit you wear? So, Mr. CHU, do you want it? There's no rush to decide. Take your time. But I don't have much time. I can only give you 3 hours, tops. No need to think. I want that technology or ability. If you have any terms, just name them, and I'll do my best to agree. Even if it costs me my entire fortune. If I ever need it in the future, I hope you, Mr. CHU, can help me without counting the cost. I promise you. Even if it costs me my life. But I have one condition. Si Chu, Hui must not be bound by Zhou Zhaojian anymore. It's getting late. Mr. Si Chu, how about some food? Eat? What kind of food? Shujia Town looked confused, not understanding my actions at all. Just as I was about to explain, I suddenly felt uneasy, with a sense of foreboding. As long as I say that key piece of information, the ever-present universal will would erase me immediately. It's fine for me to know, but I can't reveal it ahead of time. I looked up at the sky and couldn't help but sneer. The reason Blue Star mutated is all thanks to the universal will imposed on it. In my previous life, my power wasn't top tier, so I never learned about this. But now that I'm reborn, I really want to find out what this universal will truly is. Taking a deep breath, I composed myself. Just wanted a good meal. Mr. CHU has been in business for years and has long mastered reading people. Even if I don't say much, he can pick up on the clues. He immediately ordered his men, and once everything was ready,
He cautiously asked, Huang Ting,
what did you mean by the end of the world? I stayed quiet for a moment, but this time there was no universal warning. Seems I can talk about it. In 2 days at noon, the sun will turn completely blood red. At that time, most living creatures will mutate. Blood corpses are the most common among them. Those who haven't undergone mutation will awaken various unique core mechs. Core mechs. Core mechs can awaken in advance, right? The requirement is to kill mutated creatures ahead of time. I nodded. Talking to a smart person is easy. They get it right away. If creatures can mutate early, then people can also awaken early. Core mechs. Early awakening. Eat something good. Si Yu Jia Town murmured at the entrance. His body suddenly trembled. He's not an idiot. He immediately realized there must be a connection between the two. He waved his hand to summon Aliang and gave instructions. Go get that pair of mammoth tusks from the collection room and stew them together with the Argentine eagle fossils. Aliang was shocked by these words. It's the fossils themselves. The boss must be out of his mind. Si Jujia Town also realized gnawing on bones isn't very realistic. He added, grind them all into powder. Stew the powder into soup. You need to watch it yourself. Once it's ready, bring it over right away. Watching Liang leave, I nodded secretly. This was CHU Jia Town's own deduction. Can't blame myself. Whether it's the mammoth or the Argentine giant eagle, they're both extremely powerful beasts. It seems that this time around, Si Jujia Town's strength will be even greater. At this moment, a familiar notification sounded in my ear. A familiar prompt rang out. Tiger beetle gene absorption completed. Tar 1 bug soldier. General purpose mech. Advance into exclusive Thunderflash mech module. Once Thunderflash completes its mech upgrade, it can continue improving its mech attributes. just as I expected. Agility is now at its peak.
And
The exclusive module boosted burst speed and flexibility. This lets me control my mech with even more precision. I can perform all kinds of high difficulty moves. They say mechs are extensions of the human body, but they also face many limitations. Some movements humans can do easily, but mechs can't necessarily accomplish, like the most common duck walk. That's related to the mech's flexibility. No doubt about it, the more flexible the mech, the more powerful it becomes. Burst speed works the same way. Now only the mystery attribute hasn't been unlocked yet. At the very least, it won't be available until after the third mutation. For now, focus on the 3 basic attributes. As long as I switch forms fast enough, my strength is not inferior to Tier 2 mechs. In fact, it's even stronger, except for a few with special talents. Most people have only one core mech. If you want different forms, you have to enhance it directionally with materials, or add auxiliary modules. Usually that means several circuits or parts. But I've replaced everything from head to toe. That's basically unheard of. After a while, carrying the stewed delicacies, Aliang returned to the mushroom gazebo. Even if they're not hungry, Chu Jia Town and Chu Hui still ate a lot. I took them to the room holding the last 2 blood zombies. Right now, the 2 blood zombies lay on the floor, with their life force fading. I shattered both blood zombies and picked up the blood boxes that dropped to hand him. After a burst of flashing light, 2 majestic mechs appeared in the room. Congratulations, CU, for awakening your mech early, becoming a pioneer before the apocalypse comes. Not long after, Chu Jia Town's mech is gray and white overall, with armor similar to an exoskeleton. The most noticeable parts are the huge ivory tusks on both shoulders. The tusks are black and gray, gleaming with metallic brilliance. They emanate a cold aura. The mech stands about 5 meters tall. If this room wasn't big enough, he'd probably have to crouch to show off. Compared to Cau Jujajan, Chu, who his mech appears more petite. Of course, this petite is only relative to him. Chu, who his neck stands 3 meters tall. Its lines are smooth and elegant. It's covered in gray-red feathers. It has a pair of massive steel wings. The feet aren't flat. They're more like sharp claws. It looks truly intimidating. I can tell without being told. Chu Jiajin absorbed the genes of a mammoth, while Chu Hua absorbed the genes of the Argentavis. As long as no one eats a dinosaur or something. These should be the top-tier animal genes. Most regular people consume pork, beef, or lamb. That's the standard meat in human society. Of course, a few might eat frog meat, snake meat, or even dog meat, but very few would ever eat mammoth, or fossils of ancient creatures. Not for any other reason. It's just because they're extremely unpalatable. Mech awakening ahead of schedule. Chu Jiajin no longer doubts the so-called apocalypse I mentioned. He completely believes it now. Even mechs have appeared. So isn't an apocalypse pretty normal at this point? At this moment, his favorability toward me is almost at the highest level. If I were truly interested in his daughter, it wouldn't really be inappropriate. Alright, get familiar with your mechs first. I'll go take care of Captain Lisa. Hopefully he won't blame me. Before mutating, Lisa had already sensed that something was wrong. She voluntarily entered a special room. Otherwise, Chu Jiajin might not have been able to control her at all. Just as the door opened, a dark figure shot forward. So fast. I was startled, but not afraid. With a twist of my body, I dodged the dark figure's attack. Then I pushed off with my legs, my whole body like a compressed spring, instantly bouncing next to Lisa. As the security team captain, Lisa's skills are top-notch in every way. As a result, her mutant blood corpse form is even tougher to handle. Seeing an enemy approach, she swung her leg quickly, trying to knock me away. I took a light breath, and the Thunderflash mech instantly shifted form, transforming into the Heaven Domain mech in black and white. I raised my arm and forcefully blocked the whip kick. Boom! The instant contact was made. A sharp sonic boom exploded inside the building. Chu Jiajin and Chu Hui, busy with their mechs, heard the explosion, their faces tensing up. An elite mutant is no joke. If Wang Ting can't handle it, that would be disastrous. I'll go help him. Let's get out of here first. But I've awakened my Primary mech 2. So there's no way I'm leaving first. I thought the fight would be tough for me. But when they arrived, they saw that, with my mech's agility advantage, mutated Lisa couldn't even touch me. With a flash of movement, I appeared behind Lisa, so fast she couldn't react. Seizing the chance, I quickly switched to the Colossus mech and threw a heavy punch, even though Lisa's body can already withstand bullets. Under this punch, it was still as fragile as tofu. I pierced right through with ease. As Lisa fell to the ground, items of various colors appeared. Killed elite mutant blood corpse. Bloodbone claw form 5 fingers. Material name, bloodbone. Quality, normal. Type, materials. Effect, bone from the blood corpse. Extremely tough. Can be used to reinforce mechs or for crafting certain blueprints. Bloodbone has a pretty low drop rate. I didn't expect it to appear this fast. Early on, while leveling up mechs, this is an essential upgrade material. The more, the better, of course. But what excites me most is that blueprint. My mech has always lacked effective attack skills. The claw form finally solves this urgent problem. It's exactly what I needed. Blueprint name, claw form, quality, same type of blueprint. Effect, adds an incredibly sharp claw for attack. I glanced over the required materials for the claw form. Feeling excited, one happened to have all the materials. I could craft it on the spot. My mech comes with a small storage compartment, suitable for storing small items. Earlier, the power blood box looted from the 2 blood corpses was stored right here. I took it out, along with all the other materials, and placed them all on a pale blue blueprint. A flash of white light. The blueprint and materials vanished. In their place remained a rectangular metal bar. I placed the metal bar on my right hand, and with a click, the metal bar immediately fused to my hand. With a thought, the metal bar split open, revealing 3 sharp claws. It looks a lot like Wolverine. I swung at the wall lightly. The wall I'd just built using premium materials, and instantly there were 3 deep marks. Seeing such incredible power,
even Xiaoju Jiajin was stunned.
No one knows better than him how tough those walls are. He had run experiments before. Not even armor-piercing rounds could do more than leave a barely visible crater.
But now,
that wall was like paper in my hands. Of course he's shocked. Now that I know the claw's power, I switched to Thunderflash mech form, crushed a defense blood box in my hand, and let the blood drip onto the mech. A human in full defensive gear has about 1 point of defense. Thunderflash mech only has 3 points, which clearly isn't very durable. Consumed defense blood, and defense went up by 1. There was still 1 agility blood left, so 1 upgraded Colossus mech again.
now,
Colossus mech's agility stat is at 5. Good enough for now. The familiar upgrade sound faded in my ears. I breathed out softly, disengaged from the mech form, and all blood corpses were handled. Now it's time to prepare for the global mutation to arrive. Wangting, what's that on the back of your hand? Right then, see, you, who also exited her mech, suddenly shouted. The back of my hand, I instinctively looked down, where my skin was once pale as jade. Now, there was a blood-red, hook-shaped mark. On closer look, that hook-shaped mark really resembled a protruding fang. The instant I saw it, my pupils shrank to pinpoints. This is the leader mark. Beyond elite monsters are the leader class. They're naturally able to command their own kind and have extremely high intelligence. Besides that, they can bestow these marks on their followers for communication purposes. No wonder Lisa became an elite class monster. So it turns out, he got the mark of a leader-level monster. Now that I've killed Lisa, the mark has transferred onto me. Looking at the mark on the back of my hand, I feel a headache coming on. Leader-level monsters evolve at an unbelievable rate. It's possible they could advance a level in just a few days. No wonder I barely heard any news about Ning City afterward. Virtually nothing was heard about Ning City. Maybe back then, Ning City was destroyed by this leader-level monster. Looks like I've got a problem. If you need my help, just let me know. Seeing that I looked troubled, Si Chu Jia Town immediately spoke up. I nodded. There really are 2 things. First thing, help me find an abandoned building and send some water and food inside. plus some basic daily necessities. Second thing, see if there have been any recent missing persons cases in Ning City. Which area has the most cases? I'm looking for a rather unusual blood corpse. Si Jujia Town agreed right away and sent Aliang to handle it. The first thing is easy to solve. Jujia Town's business covers real estate and restaurants, so they quickly found a rundown abandoned building. After reinforcing it, it can fully serve as a temporary shelter. As for the second thing, after donating 100 million to the local security bureau, that was sorted right away. The apocalypse is just around the corner. When it comes to money, he's even more casual about it than I am. Spending 100 million to fulfill my request is definitely an incredible deal. Very soon, a file was sent to my phone. Looking at what was marked on the map, I told CHU Jia Town to send someone to investigate again, to see if anything unusual showed up. I didn't just sit idle myself. I highlighted the areas with the most missing cases and checked them all one by one. By the following evening, I yawned, dragging my tired body back to the botanic garden. Alaying checked every location, but found nothing out of the ordinary. This leader-level monster's intelligence far exceeded my expectations. Still no progress? I'll send even more people out to investigate.
Yujia Town saw my concerns.
Frowning slightly, no need tomorrow is the global mutation. Better get ready for the apocalypse first. It's just a leader-level monster, with my god-tier Zerg domination abilities. I can't believe I'm not its match. That works too. By the way, the place you asked for is already set up. Alayang will take you there in a bit. Jujia Town nodded at first, but then looked puzzled. The building is so conspicuous. Why not pick something like a basement or a defensive structure? I looked serious and explained that once the mutation begins, most materials will change fundamentally. In other words, technology will become useless. Underground buildings have limited visibility, so if you get trapped, there's no way out. High-rise buildings have wide visibility. The target is bigger, but it's also easier to hide. There's another important point. There are just as many creatures underground as above ground. After they mutate, so-called underground defensive structures are a total joke. I remember clearly. There was an underground shelter in my previous life that was destroyed by mutated earthworms. That was the work of mutated creatures. Don't just think about hiding from mutated monsters. You have to take the initiative. That's the only way you'll have a chance to survive. I've learned a lot. Looks like I don't know enough about the apocalypse after all. Jia Town originally planned to build an underground shelter, but he dropped the idea right after hearing what I said. Lucky he made 2 plans just in case. Otherwise, he'd be in big trouble. No need for more words. With Aliang leading the way, I quickly arrived at the abandoned building. The building has 8 floors. The top 3 and bottom 3 floors are untouched. Only the 4th and 5th floors have steel plates wrapped around them outside. It doesn't look secure enough. Walking into the building, 10 giant generators come into view. Besides those, there are also 2 small sewage purifiers. Even though I know that, after the mutation, these 2 things won't be very useful, I am still very satisfied with CHU Jiazhen's arrangements. I look at A Lingang and instruct him, all right, you go back and prepare first. Remember, as soon as someone around you acts strangely, deal with them immediately. Don't hesitate for a second. This isn't a zombie outbreak, and there's no cure. Once they mutate, they are as good as dead. Yes, Mr. Huang Ting. Aling nods heavily, his level of respect for me rising another notch. Time passes bit by bit. Soon, streaks of red light appear on the horizon, and then everything becomes brilliantly lit. Ordinary people still know nothing about the apocalypse, going to work and punching in under the sun as usual, starting another day of the daily grind. However, Xu Jiazhen's movements have caught many people's attention. Several factions have sent their confidants to investigate. And in all of Ning City, there is a sense of an impending storm. The time reaches 11 o'clock, 1 hour before the official mutation. I take out my phone and dial a number. The person on the other end is none other than the current top leader of Ning City. Hello, Fu An. This is Fu, and Fu An's voice usually carries dignity and composure. But at this moment, Even an inexperienced ordinary person could hear the panic in his tone. No need for small talk. Pass the word down. Start the citywide martial law. I'm not being alarmist. My voice rings out flatly. I don't have the power to stop this disaster, but with preparation, perhaps we can reduce some casualties. The reason I didn't inform you sooner was the concern that all of Ning City would descend into madness because of it. In the office, Fu and suddenly falls silent. If it were 2 hours ago, and someone told him the end of the world was coming, he certainly wouldn't have believed it. But the one saying this is Ijajan, so the weight is different. Plus, with what he displayed, that set of mysterious mecha, and the recent monster attack incidents, all the clues combined, it wouldn't matter even if he didn't believe it. Sir, since the apocalypse is coming, then we should cooperate even more closely. I wonder if you're interested in temporarily serving as Ning City's honorary inspector. Fu An's the chief inspector, the final authority in Ning City, offering the title of honorary inspector is a bit of a stretch for him. But desperate times call for desperate measures. There's no other way now. He urgently needs to know what caused everything about this apocalypse, when it will end, and how much damage it will do to Ning City. These are all things he needs to consider. Inspector, please get ready. The world is about to change. I hang up the phone and toss it aside. Everything that needs to be said has been said. The rest is up to fate. Hearing the phone hang up, Fu and intends to investigate my true identity. But right now, there's an even bigger mess in front of him that urgently needs his attention. Pass down the orders. The entire city enters a state of level 1 combat readiness. A voice responds from outside the door. Not long after, the air raid sirens wail. Squads of soldiers with guns walk onto the streets and begin to take control. People walk out of office buildings with confused faces, not knowing what happened. The smart ones have already started making calls, their voices trembling, full of concern. Hello, please, what happened? Someone gathers the courage to stop a soldier and ask, I'm not sure either. I just know we can't let crowds gather. Everyone must return to their homes. After the soldier finishes speaking,
He quickly leaves with his gun slung.
a row of helicopters suddenly flies overhead, constantly circling in the air. At this point, even the simplest person knows something is wrong. Everyone can't help but quicken their pace, returning home under the direction of the military. They thought other countries were going to war with the Dragon Country, unaware that what was about to happen was even more terrifying than they imagined. Not long after, the streets were empty, so quiet you could hear the sound of the wind blowing. There were only 10 minutes left until 12 o'clock. The originally brilliant sun now seemed covered by a layer of red gauze, making it hard to see clearly. 10 minutes passed in the blink of an eye. Accompanied by a roar, the end times officially began. Blood corpses formed by the mutation rampaged through the streets, constantly attacking the defensive lines formed by the soldiers. As the blood corpses appeared, humanity's vital mecha also began to awaken. I went to the top floor of the abandoned building, overlooking everything happening in the distance. When the apocalypse broke out in my previous life, I was busy running for my life and didn't have the chance to observe it properly. But now human civilization is in ruins, and countless people have lost their loved ones, and many others were forced to kill the ones they loved most. Such a tragic and inhumane scene. All stems from some bullshit cosmic will. I must see exactly what this cosmic will is. At this moment, my heart is incredibly determined. The most terrifying thing in troubled times is not a lack of food, but a lack of a goal. Living in a daze all day long. The chaos continued until the afternoon, and still hasn't stopped. I take out a can of braised pork, heating it slightly and enjoying it. At this time, noisy sounds come from outside.
Boss.
Yesterday, I saw a lot of people hauling stuff in here. It's covered with steel plates. There must be good stuff inside. Not bad. Not bad, I say among us. You are the smartest. The others can't match your sharpness. Boss, what if someone is up there? You idiot. We're the lucky ones. We awakened that vital mecha thing. We can smash a car in one hit. Who could be a match for us brothers? The boss is wise. If someone is up there, tell them to get lost. If they won't listen to reason, then give them a beating. Boss, There's a girl here. She's quite pretty. Let me see. Is it really just a young lady by herself?
It's so dangerous outside now.
Why not come with us? We'll definitely keep you safe. Just as the man's voice falls, chaotic sounds of fighting follow. Soon the sound of footsteps comes from downstairs. Then a pure white mecha appears. Seeing me here, the white mecha pauses. It seems it didn't expect that in such an abandoned building there would actually be someone. After a brief moment of being stunned, it continues to dash upward, shortly after the white mech left. The stage appeared black-brown, and a mech covered in long bristles appeared at the top of the stairs. This creature is a wild boar. I've heard quite a bit about them in my previous life. The mech instantly recognized where these mechs came from. Whoa, the chick turned into a man. That's a real transformation act. The lead mech muttered. Judging by the voice, it's probably the same big guy from before. Big bro has food, and he's all alone, a younger member said excitedly. With so much food, you couldn't finish it all yourself, bro. How about we all share it together? You share your food with us, and we'll share the ladies with you. I'll go first in a moment. You go second, and big bro won't chase anymore.
He walked over to me smiling.
I slurped loudly, draining all the meat juice from the can, and casually said, Why should I share my stuff with you guys? If you won't share with your brothers, then don't blame me, as the boss, for being ruthless. After all, my guys need to eat too. Big bro crouched down, then dashed forward at full speed. As the saying goes, first boar, second tiger, third bear, fourth wolf. Once a wild boar charges, even the tiger, king of the beasts, has to back off. Lightning mech, combine. I stepped aside twice, dodging easily, with no target. Big bro slammed headfirst into an unfinished concrete wall, even denting the reinforced steel plate outside, leaving a huge dent. The other three underlings attacked at the same time, charging in like a herd of wild boars. I didn't rush, dodging around repeatedly, and easily avoided their attacks. Damn kid. Is running all you can do? Come fight your daddy. Big bro adjusted his stance, and smirked at me again. The lightning mech automatically transformed into the titan mech. I held out one hand, blocking big bro's charge with just one arm. All four of them were stunned, since even big bro could crash through steel plates. But now he was stopped by just one hand. Then something even more terrifying happened. My arm instantly transformed into a sharp claw, slashing across big bro's body. After a burst of sparks, big bro collapsed on the ground. His neck armor shattered with a crash, turning into a small, cube-like thing similar to a Rubik's Cube. Defeated mech pilot, Wang Hu. Tier 1. Obtained a Tier 1 mech core. Collected the mech core. I looked at the remaining four people. Oh my god, run! This guy's not human. They scrambled to escape outside. I didn't give them a chance, transforming into the lightning mech, and took care of them one by one. Although it only takes 2 mech cores to reach Tier 2. I currently have 3 mechs, so I might need 6 mech cores. I can't turn down good stuff delivered right to my door. After taking care of everyone, I slowly went upstairs, just in time to see the white mech peeking out. It's safe now, you can come down. I'll give you 2 choices. 1, you can leave here, but you can't reveal this place's existence. Otherwise, I'll kill you myself. 2, you can stay here and help me look after the place, while also doing some odd jobs. The pay is food and water. I'll stay here. My name is Guan Silan. That name sounds familiar. I think I saw it before, in a research paper on insect behavior. The second author was named that. Just as I was thinking about Guan Silan, he disengaged his mech form and revealed his face. When I saw what he looked like, I suddenly remembered a photo I had seen. It was about urbanization from an ecological perspective, and its effect on native insect diversity. Turns out you were the second author. Yes, that's me. But that was my work from 3 years ago. So it really is you. Looks like I finally have some direction for my next insect choices. I perked up. This find is way better than those mech cores. With Guan Silan, the insects I can choose from aren't even limited to those found in nature. I can totally focus on cultivating special kinds of insects. Absorbing the genes of those exotic insects is what makes one the true ruler of the Zerg. This god-tier talent can only unleash its true potential I have to keep Guan Xilong here. The mysterious item hasn't appeared yet. Wait a while and then find a demon contract. Then I can make Guan Xilong sign a contract with me. That would be perfect. I waited for another 2 hours in the abandoned building. I stood up and the Thunder Flash Mecha automatically attached to me. The situation has pretty much stabilized now. It's time to go out and hunt monsters. To gather Mecha upgrade materials. You stay here and wait. Don't make any noise. Did you hear me? Stay put. Guan Xilong didn't dare say more. She nodded repeatedly. Leaving the abandoned building, I headed straight towards the area with the most people inside. Newly formed blood corpses aren't very strong. Now is the best time to collect upgrade materials. I didn't go far, and ran right into a blood corpse. Without any hesitation, the Thunder Flash Mecha blinked to the corpse's back. Then came the transformation. The giant god Mecha unleashed its strength. 2/3 of the blood corpse's head was instantly blown off. Mutant killed. First level blood corpse gained material. Strength blood and star token I. Bloody claw star token I. Collected material. Blood ashes. Material name. Blood ashes. Quality. Normal. Type. Material. Effect. 100 units of blood ashes. Can be synthesized into 1 unit of blood essence. Blood essence can slightly boost Mecha stats. Before the mutation officially started, the drop rate from blood corpses remained at 1 blood unit each. Now the max has been raised, but the minimum has dropped too. Still, meat is meat, no matter how small the mosquito. I put away the blood ashes and continued searching for blood corpses. Meanwhile, inside the abandoned building, Guan Xilong's emotions hadn't yet recovered from the fear. Her body was still visibly trembling. She barely dared breathe earlier, afraid I'd kill her if I became unhappy. Luckily, her luck wasn't bad. She managed to survive. Thinking of this, she took out her phone, wanting to contact the outside. But she didn't dare reveal this location. She just wanted to see what was happening out there. Those terrifying monsters. And the mecha on her own body. All of it weighing heavily on her mind, making it hard for her to breathe. After pulling out her phone, she was totally stunned. Her perfectly fine phone suddenly stopped working. Forget about getting online. It wouldn't even light up. After a moment's hesitation, she got up, wanting to walk to the window to check things out. But remembering my warning, she sat back down. Those side characters in movies who don't listen to warnings usually get killed off early. She wasn't stupid, she just wanted to survive. At that moment, coo coo coo, she suddenly heard the sound of pigeons cooing outside the window. Then a loud crash followed. Suddenly, a piece of steel covering the window bulged outward, like something had slammed into it. Guan Xilong let out a startled cry. When she realized what was happening, she quickly covered her mouth. But it was already too late. Thud! 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 Bangs rang out one after another. The whole piece of steel looked like it was being struck by a massive palm, leaving imprint after imprint. Hearing these terrifying sounds, she quietly picked up a sharp rock, gripping it tightly in her hand. Suddenly, the banging stopped. Guan Xilong let out a sigh of relief, thinking the danger had passed. Just then, the ceiling above her suddenly began to shake. Unpainted debris started falling like rain, raining down with a clatter. Guan Xilong's face went pale. Whatever it was couldn't get through the steel, so it tried to break through from above. Compared to the hard steel, the strength of the concrete was pretty average. It didn't take long before a hole the size of a basin opened up overhead. Through the hole, Guan Xilong finally saw what those things really were. Pigeons, a flock of mutant pigeons. Ordinary pigeons aren't very big, easily fitting in your hand, but the flock above her head, each one was the size of a grown golden retriever. The leader pigeon was even as big as a calf. Its scarlet eyes glowed with menace. It shoved aside the other mutant pigeons with a wing, grabbed the edge of the hole with its sharp claws. Crunch! It easily crushed a piece of concrete. Dust poured down. The despair Guan Xilong felt was as bad as before. When she was surrounded by 4 men, those 4 men only wanted her body. But this flock of mutant pigeons might as well want her body too. Seeing this, Guan Xilong grew even more hopeless. Is she really going to die here today? She recalled when I fought those 4 guys before.
If only I were here.
Maybe she'd still have a chance. But how could that be possible? In a daze, she noticed a black and gold figure flash by in the hole above. A moment later, a shrill scream sounded, snapping Guan Silan back to reality. That was his mecha. No doubt about it. That's definitely his mecha. That's right, no doubt. That really was his mecha. Ecstasy flooded Guan Silan's face. She hurriedly turned her body, trying to get a clear view of the fight above. I grabbed a mutant pigeon by the neck and yanked hard. The pigeon's head and body. Killed mutant carrier pigeon. Level 1 gained materials. Gray feather star token I mutant blood drop. Collected the star token I. Loot dropped. I looked at the leader of the mutant pigeon flock. Another elite level mutant. No idea what it might drop, I muttered to myself, then charged straight at it. The ferocious, bloodthirsty flock was as docile as before they mutated in my hands. They couldn't cause any trouble at all. I quickly killed off the rest of the mutant pigeons. Only the pigeon leader was left. By now the leader realized I was no pushover, unfurled its wings, and flew out of the abandoned building. Now I wanted to run. Too late. I picked up a piece of slab from the ground and hurled it with all my might. The slab flew dead center, hitting right on target, smashing into the leader's body just as it tried to take off. With a whimper, the pigeon leader dropped straight down. I followed close behind, leaping out of the building, landing squarely on its body. The mecha's own weight, plus the power from the fall, crushed the pigeon leader completely. Elite mutant carrier pigeon, level 1 materials obtained. Seeing the rewards, I was stunned for a moment, then burst out laughing, not to mention the dropped materials. Gray feathers boost agility. Mutant blood drops boost strength and defense. But all of them have to be processed before use. The Eye of Detection is a pretty useful item. Not only can it check the basic info of mutated creatures, it also helps reduce your presence. Its hiding effect is excellent as well. It's considered one of the god-tier skills in the early stage. The Bone Bomb is just as good as the Eye of Detection. Its explosive power is huge. It's extremely handy for clearing out weak mutated blood corpses. If used properly, a single bone bomb can easily wipe out several blood corpses. Besides, this blueprint can be reused. With this, I can quickly accumulate early wealth and upgrade my mecha. First, I grab the Eye of Detection. Judging purely by its appearance, it's simply a plain gray sphere. Press it into your eye, and the sphere sprouts 8 slender mechanical limbs that pierce into the original eye structure the moment it's installed. I immediately felt my vision improve a lot. I gave a casual scan, and in a nearby patch of grass, I spotted a mutated ant. Name, Giant Croc. Mutation level, Ordinary Otherworld. Danger level, extremely low. The mutated giant croc radiates a harmless white light. It's currently gnawing on grass stems, totally unaware that someone is observing it and checking its stats. Giant God Mecha. Level 1, Strength 30, Defense 4, Agility 5. Mystic Spirit Exclusive Module Giant God Auxiliary Module. Claw Form Eye of Detection. Just need to collect materials. Although dominant in power, the consumption is extremely high. All mechas must be upgraded simultaneously in order to improve further. Looking at the panel, I'm both happy and worried. Switching between multiple forms means I don't have any weaknesses. My combat power is strong. But likewise, upgrades for all mechas can't be skipped. There's no way to max out one mecha first, then upgrade the others. Luckily, I still have an ace up my sleeve. I open the Bone Bomb blueprint. Blueprint name, Bone Bomb. The quality level of the materials and blueprint is similar to the mecha talent level. The only difference is that above ordinary, there's an extra level, fine grade. Then comes excellent. Mutated blood drops and blood-stained beast hides are common materials. Although blood-colored bones are rare, they're insignificant compared to the value of the Bone Bomb. Not worth mentioning at all. The trading system will open tomorrow, so there's no need to rush now. I put the blueprint away. I head back to the 5th floor. The rooftop has already been pecked through quite a bit by a flock of mutated pigeons. But it's still repairable, so it's a bit of luck amid misfortune. I didn't move anything. I wasn't the one who lured them here, Guan Silan nervously explained. I know it's not your fault. No need to be scared. Mutated monsters have extremely sharp senses. Maybe they just happened to notice Guan Silan's presence. And that's why they attacked so frantically. I feel Guan Silan is a smart person. After experiencing that incident earlier, she definitely won't put herself in danger again. It's still not very safe here. If only I were like a snail, able to carry my home and roam the world. Two bad creatures like that are probably rare. Besides snails, there's also an insect that carries its home around. Guan Silan followed up with another sentence. That would be great. Suddenly I froze and stepped forward to grab Guan Silan's arm. Guan Silan's expression changed and instinctively pulled out the stone she'd prepared earlier and smashed it hard against the back of my hand. My gaze turned cold, and I knocked the stone out of her hand. I'm not interested in you. I just want to know, what's that insect called, the one that carries its home around? Seeing that I had no further action, Guan Silan finally relaxed and slowly lowered her arm. Then a surge of intense unwillingness flooded over me. In their eyes, I wasn't even as important as a bug. That insect is called the bagworm moth. Bagworm larvae can spin silk and use leaves or branches to weave a nest, which they carry around as they move. Guan Silan explained it very briefly, but I still managed to notice how unusual this insect was. Is this bagworm moth species widespread? It's pretty widespread. You can basically find them all over the country. If you see a ribbon-like thing on a branch, it might just be a bagworm's home.
Hearing this,
I looked a bit embarrassed. I've lived in big cities all my life, so I've never seen this kind of bug. I did see a lot in my past life, but those bugs either had a bunch of eyes or dozens of tentacles, which always gave me chills. Compared to those, the bugs now are basically harmless babies. I smiled, realizing I hadn't remembered wrong. Didn't expect saving someone casually would actually be the right move. So since that's the case, I'll give you the next mech modification spot. With a clear goal, I stopped hesitating. I picked up a metal case and set out again. The reason I came back early was to find a container to store those materials. If it were the later stages of the apocalypse, there would be all kinds of storage devices everywhere, so I wouldn't have to bother with this. But now this primitive, simple collection method is all I have. I pulled out the map I'd prepared in advance and headed toward the Chujia town shelter. I don't have enough people by myself, so the task of finding bagworms needs to be handed over to Chujia town. Hope they still have plenty of manpower. Otherwise, my next mech upgrade might take a long time. Maybe I could try working with the government. But unlike Chujia town, there were already many factions even before the apocalypse started. And now the situation is even more complicated. Unless it's really necessary. He still doesn't want to get involved with them yet. Not only has the fighting in the streets not died down, it's gotten even fiercer. At first, humans faced the mutated corpses and other monsters, completely powerless. But now, with their awakened mechs, they finally have the ability to fight back, whether it's to avenge loved ones or to get materials for upgrades. Everyone has their reasons to fight. Of course, only a few are brave enough to step up, while most people are hiding and just watching. As I move forward, I kept recalling what happened in my past life. The first day of catastrophe was only the beginning. After that, even more unimaginable things would occur, like the system marketplace that opens tomorrow. The system marketplace's arrival is a golden opportunity for me. If I wanted to sell bone bombs before, I had to trade them one by one. But now with the marketplace open, I can sell them directly online. I can make money so much faster. Each bone bomb costs around 50 energy points to make. I'm planning to sell them for 300 energy points apiece. With a 6x profit margin, I'll be making a killing. And that's just the first step. Having enough energy points means having enough upgrade materials. As long as I have enough materials, I can immediately advance to Tier 2, leaving everyone else behind. These low-level materials may seem insignificant, but they're critical for upgrading a mech. In my past life, I was too focused on quick gains and sold a lot of the low-level materials. When I needed them later, I was stuck. Wasted a lot of time upgrading the mech. But this time, since I know what's coming, I'm definitely going to make a fortune with these materials first. Then I'll quickly upgrade my mech level and become the #1 in Ning City. With a plan in mind, I'm moving even faster. The Thunderflash mech sped through the streets, looking just like a lightning bolt. Neither zombies nor humans could see anything except a flash of lightning. And then everything went silent, leaving them completely clueless about what happened. Mountain River Shelter is the shelter built by Chujia Town's Shan Group. It kept the same name. During the early stage of the mutations, some of his men mutated too. But Adeang always remembered my warning and would pull the trigger at any sign of trouble.
Plus,
With Chujia Town and Si Hugh, who had both already awakened in their mechs, keeping watch, their losses weren't too bad. Like me, Chujia Town also chose a tall building, but it wasn't an abandoned one. It was a brand new one, still waiting to be finished. The top floor has 8 small watchtowers, making it easy to see movements within several hundred meters. Any activity from anyone will be in plain view. Something's up. A mech appeared 300 meters away. It's moving very fast. Suddenly a lookout called out, then started sounding urgent. Crap, it's at the door. Everyone on alert. Wait a second, it seems to have stopped. The people upstairs didn't dare slack off and rushed to pass the message down. At the same time, Chujia Town was also notified of an intruder. He went outside to check and saw a familiar blue-purple mech in front of him. All right, everyone relax. It's an old friend. Is that Huang Ting? CEO, who exclaimed in surprise, jumped straight out the window. And the giant eagle mech took over in midair, spreading its wings and flying straight over to me. Looks like you're pretty good at controlling your mech. But remember, never fly too high. It's just as dangerous up there as on the ground. I retracted my mech, laughed and said, yeah. Got it? See, Yu Hui also dismissed her mech, standing there looking especially obedient. In just half a day, he felt like his whole world had collapsed. People around him either mutated or lost contact. That's why he was so happy to see a familiar face like me. At this moment, Chujia Town also came out of the building, seeing his daughter chatting happily with me. He smiled knowingly. My mysteriousness and strength left an unforgettable impression on him, plus with my height and looks. If the two of them end up together, he wouldn't mind at all. You really saved us this time. Otherwise, there would have been a lot of deaths in Yincheng. Chujia Town came over, patting me on the shoulder as he spoke. Seeing this, Ao Liang, who was standing behind, was stunned. It was his first time seeing Chujia Town treat a young person so seriously. But if that young person is me, then it makes perfect sense. I exchanged a few polite words, then explained the reason for my visit this time. The Soviet Union, it used to be easy to find. I'm afraid I'll have to trouble you now. I'll have someone keep an eye on it. The CHU family town has already guessed my mecha is connected to insects. The two sides are currently allied. The stronger I am, the more secure my own interests become. So he agreed right away. After discussing business, I opened the tin box I carry with me. I took out 3 items from inside. President CHU, I don't know if your people have ever found these 3 materials. I'm willing to exchange a small secret for them. I watched CHU Family Town glance over those 3 materials. He chuckled. What a coincidence. I have all 3 of those materials. I'm curious what secret you're willing to trade. Just crush the blood box. Let the blood inside flow onto the mecha. That will boost the corresponding attribute. I wonder how much this little secret is worth. I didn't hide how to use the blood box. Even if he doesn't tell, this secret will come out sooner or later, rather than letting everyone know eventually. It's better to trade for a benefit now. Hearing this secret, Sishu Family Town was visibly shocked. He thought absorbing the blood was really troublesome. Didn't expect it to be so simple. He hesitated for a moment, then spoke up about the blood-colored bone. There isn't much of it. I'll give you 8 mutated blood drops, 10 blood-stained beast skins, and 6 pieces. Does that work? I calculated it. With these materials plus what I already have, I can make 10 bone bombs. That's about enough. He also understands. This is just the early stage of mutation. Sishu Family Town can't provide many materials. As for ordinary people, they'd have even less, since it's a no-cost deal anyway. Any amount's fine. Besides, Sishu Family Town isn't my subordinate. We're just in a cooperative relationship. After getting the materials, I found a room, started making bone bombs. Bone bombs are basically props. Generally speaking, there are 2 ways to make them. One is using blueprints. Just put the materials on the blueprint. Quick and easy. The other is handcrafting. Handcrafting is more troublesome and harder, but you can often make some pretty good things. Many people in my previous life were crafting experts, even if their mecha was pretty average. Once armed, their combat power was hardly lacking. With a flash of white light, a bone bomb, looking like a mini skull, was finished. I made the remaining 9 bone bombs, all at once, then went back to CHU family town to show off the power of the bone bomb. He even brought over 8 blood corpses. The bone bombs were thrown. With a loud boom, the 8 blood corpses instantly turned into piles of unrecognizable meat scraps. CHU family town got excited right away. Royal court, I'll buy as many bone bombs as you have. As a business veteran, he immediately saw the value of the bone bomb. The apocalypse has just begun. Even with Mecha suits, many still don't dare fight blood corpses. So, the bone bomb's value just skyrocketed. No need to fight blood corpses face to face. Still deals a lot of damage. It's practically a miracle weapon. I bet lots of people will buy some for self-defense. Even if they don't use it themselves, they can buy it for family and friends. In short, bone bombs will sell themselves. The next day arrived right on schedule. As expected, aside from the Mecha attribute page, there's now a system shop. A semi-transparent screen unfolds in front of me. I open the system shop. A dazzling array of goods appears. There's not just tons of food and daily supplies, but also lots of other little gadgets, including blueprints and extra modules. Buying is easy too. Just sell items to the system shop and exchange them for energy points. For example, a portion of bloody meat sells for 1 energy point. 1 energy point buys a small food package. The supplies inside can cover one person's daily needs. If you ration, it's possible to make it last 3 days. If you don't want to sell to the system shop, you can even set up your own stall and trade goods for goods. This way is less efficient. But the only advantage is you don't have to pay a booth fee. With a single thought, I placed the remaining 9 bone bombs on the stall I just set up. Then I spent another 100 energy points to buy a 10-minute featured listing function. The pinning feature required an auction. Highest bidder wins. But since the system shop just launched, everyone was pretty lost, so no one participated. Spending 100 for a featured spot would have been a gold mine in my last life. I'm afraid even 10,000 energy wouldn't have been enough back then. Watching my bone bombs being pinned at the very top of all items, I was quite satisfied. The system shop is divided into 2 sections. Above is the product page. Below is a chat box. Messages were rapidly streaming by at the moment. Some people discussed the bone bombs, while others kept calling for help to the outside world. The entire chat box was a chaotic mess. I just glanced at it casually and stopped paying attention. If the system shop appeared today, the chat system would open tomorrow. But this is not really good news. The more new features are introduced, the faster creature mutation and evolution will become, which means there's even more danger. In less than 3 minutes, all the bone bombs were snatched up. There are plenty of people without money, but also quite a few with cash. The base cost of a bone bomb is about 50 points. I didn't price them too high. For some big factions, 300 energy points is nothing at all. Even ordinary people can scrape together enough to buy one. In an old neighborhood of West City, a man called King Kong confirmed the order. Suddenly, his hand felt heavier. He glanced down at it and saw a strange bomb about the size of a human skull appear in his palm. So this was the bone bomb worth 300. His buddies all crowded over curiously, asking questions. There were 6 of them in total, all living in the same dorm room. They had planned to take a trip during the holiday, but ended up trapped here. Outside, hordes of blood corpses roamed. Even though each of them had awakened their own mecha, they still didn't dare act recklessly. No one wanted to make the first move. But honestly, I didn't expect much from its power. As long as it made enough noise to lure the nearby blood corpses away, that's good enough. Ran Zaijing took a deep breath. A silver-white mecha attached itself to her body automatically. The others summoned their mechas too. There weren't many people in this complex, even fewer mutants. They'd already cleared all the blood corpses from the building. The only problem left now was the pack of blood corpses outside. None of them really believed the bone bomb would have much effect. Just as Ran Zijing said, as long as some of those monsters get drawn away, or even just partially distracted, that's enough. The group of 6 reached the rooftop. Ran Zijing observed for a while, then picked out one of the larger blood corpse groups, and threw the bone bomb. The bone bomb traced a graceful arc through the air, then dropped right into the cluster of blood corpses. Boom! Instantly, a deafening explosion rang out. All the blood corpses went berserk immediately, stampeding toward the explosion site. Seeing this, none of the group looked pleased. Instead, they were all deeply shocked. They could see clearly when the bone bomb exploded. At least 8 or 9 blood corpses were torn to shreds, while the rest were all damaged to varying degrees. This was no firecracker that just made a loud noise, but a real bomb. They were not the only ones testing the bone bomb. Other factions also quickly realized the huge potential of the bone bomb. They contacted me one after another, requesting more. I didn't waste time either. First, I used energy points to snap up the materials needed to craft bone bombs. Then, I marked out the blueprints and modules I needed. Compared to the real items, blueprints and modules were shockingly expensive. Even a random one cost at least 1,000 energy points. Better ones easily ran into the 10,000s. Flashes of white light shot by, and soon I crafted another 50 bone bombs and loaded them onto the stall. Almost instantly, the 50 bone bombs were all gone. In their place was 15,000 energy points. No unfilled orders, except for a few listings priced way too high. I bought up all the DJ materials available on the market, wiping them out completely. The drop rate for bone bomb blueprints wasn't considered low, but that's only in these early days of the apocalypse. Give it some more time, and they'll be worthless. Or maybe, by tomorrow they'll be worthless already. So I need to sell as many as I can, while they still fetch a good price. At the same time, at the Fenghua shelter, although there was some chaos at first, Fenghua still managed to survive. Of course, that was all thanks to Honghai's Hongxi Mecha. Without his help, Fenghua really might have disappeared from history right there. In the apocalypse, the strong rule, at this very moment, he had relied on his power to become Fenghua's uncrowned king. Even those older brothers who usually looked down on him were now under his feet. Suppressing him was the trend. And there's this Huang Ting again. Why is it always him? As soon as he saw the traitor's name, and Honghai instantly flew into a rage. He was sure the one selling the bone bombs had to be the same Huang Ting who'd humiliated him at the exhibition and the botanical garden. Back then, it was inconvenient for him to strike. But now things were different. Huang Ting, huh? Let me send you a gift first. And Honghai's eyes rolled, and he waved a subordinate over and whispered a few instructions. I was still busy making bone bombs when the system shop's chat exploded. People there were either demanding I reveal the recipe or insisting I lower the price. I ignored these annoying clowns and listed all the freshly made bone bombs up for sale. In the blink of an eye, half of the 100 bone bombs were gone. A moment later, I brought out the strengthening materials I'd just bought. All kinds of materials piled up, exuding an irresistible sense of temptation. A flash of black gold light, and the Titan Mecha appeared in the room. I sat cross-legged and began absorbing the pile of strengthening materials on the floor. Strength +1, defense +1, agility +2, agility +1. Once all the strengthening materials were gone, the Titan Mecha's stats were totally refreshed. Attributes have reached their limit. Next comes the Mecha's upgrade. Upgrading really just means the Mecha's at its max enhancement and can't improve any further without a breakthrough. To break through the cap, the first thing required is a Mecha core. Thanks to Big Bro and Huang Zi's team, I have nothing to worry about. I pulled out another pile of materials, plus a cube-shaped Mecha core. I gathered my focus, officially starting the upgrade. Mech upgrade initiated. This upgrade will take 28 hours. Just as I was upgrading my mech, and Honghai went on a rampage inside the shelter. He thought he could get someone to mess with me, but they completely ignored him. It felt like he was punching the air. So frustrated he could almost cough up blood. The next day arrived, accompanied by a buzzing sound. The chat system is now officially live. At the same time, Blood zombies and other monsters are evolving even faster. Second-tier monsters have already appeared in some areas, so those places are now considered forbidden zones. I effortlessly opened the chat system. The chat system is divided into 3 sections: private chat, group chat, area chat, and world chat. World chat isn't available yet. No need to worry about that. What I'm really interested in is the group chat feature. This is the real foundation for building a faction. You need at least 2 people to create a group chat, plus 1,000 energy points. Energy points aren't a big deal for me, but deciding who to add to the group needs careful thought. Putting the group chat matter aside, I summoned my giant god mech again. After upgrading to Tier 2, all 3 main stats of the giant god mech have increased to varying degrees, especially in the strength category. It's almost at the threshold for Tier 2 mechs. The stat cap for Tier 1 mechs is 10. Tier 2 mechs have a max stat of 50, a strength of 40 points. That's already top tier among second-level mechs. Giant god mech upgrade completed. Next is the Sky Domain mech, and also Swallow. I wonder if they've been found yet. Just then there's a knock at the door. It's Si Hujia Town and Xiachu Hui, plus a Liang carrying a transparent box. Chat system is now live. Shouldn't we add each other as friends? Don't know if you'd like to join our group chat. Si Hujia Town eagerly invited talent like me, with strong combat power, and a lot of knowledge about the apocalypse. He really didn't want to miss out. Sorry, Mr. CHU. I have my own plans. I refused directly. I have many things to do in the future. I don't want to tie myself to CHU Jia Town's ship. Alright, then let's just add each other as friends. Let's keep in touch. Also, the Shan group is gone, so please don't call me President CU anymore. You can call me Uncle CEO. CU Jia Town didn't push it. Just went with the flow. Okay, Uncle CU. Right now I'm about the same as CU Hui. Shouting uncle out loud isn't embarrassing. Oh right, Li Yang's people caught a little guy. See if it's the swallow you're looking for. Si Ju Jia Town waved his hand. Li Yang stepped forward with the transparent box. Inside was a palm-sized, tower-shaped object, made entirely of rebar and glass. I was a little puzzled looking at it. Bugs are evolving this fast now. They're even building with rebar, whatever it is. I decided to take it for now. I'll let Guan Silan take a look at it later. Added 3 friends. I then transferred 10,000 energy points to CHU Jia Town as a reward for this time, then turned around and left. Wanfu Mall. As the top mall in Ning City, it used to have lots of foot traffic. After the catastrophe started, the once bustling mall turned into a living hell in an instant. All kinds of blood zombies took over. Besides that, a lot of mutated pets became powerful monsters. Ran Zijin and a few buddies quietly snuck to the mall entrance, then picked up a pebble from the ground and threw it. They used bone bombs to clear out most of the blood zombies in the old neighborhood, and managed to escape. But they're all hardcore gamers. They know they can't just wait to die. They have to level up as quickly as possible, become stronger. Only then can you possibly survive in this kind of apocalypse. They treat the Wanfuk Mall like a dungeon instance, getting ready to team up for a run. That's how the previous scene came about. A stone traced a beautiful arc through the air. With a clang, it landed at the entrance of the mall. Sensing the noise, a deformed monster rushed out. Its lower body was relatively normal. Thick, sturdy legs, nothing unusual for a blood zombie. But the terrifying part was its upper body. Starting from the waist, the upper body was split into 2 parts. One part looked like a woman. The other was a mutated teddy dog. It seemed like something had stitched the 2 together. Yulang tried hard not to throw up, and said with a sigh, "But this monster is way more hardcore than Resident Evil." Back in the day, this would have been censored for sure. Ran Zijing gripped her bone greatsword tightly. Her face under the mech helmet was extremely grim. "We can't handle this monster. We better get out now. If we don't run, we'll probably get censored soon." With that, he started to turn away. But the moment he turned, a giant mouth suddenly appeared on his left. Snap. The massive left arm of his mech was bitten off with ease. Ran Zijing staggered, almost falling to her knees. "Damn it, Ran Zijing. Wait for me, your dad's coming to save you." Seeing Ren Zijing injured, Yu Lang charged in without hesitation. But the woman's side of the two-headed monster just swung out its hand and sent him flying backwards. His mech flashed a few times, then turned into a ball of light, completely dissipating. Yu Lang fell unconscious. The other four were the same. They were instantly wrecked by the two-headed monster. Although their mechs didn't vanish, they no longer had the strength to fight. Just as the two-headed monster was about to eat them, a calm and gentle voice spoke up. Right now, you all aren't his match yet. Remember, above all else, hold on to your life. Don't take unnecessary risks. A black and gold mech slowly appeared in my view. Mysterious, cold, and powerful. I glanced over, activating the detection module. Information about the two-headed blood zombie popped up before my eyes. Name: two-headed fused blood zombie. Rank: Elite level 1, danger level 1, obviously. The two-headed monster is an elite mutated variant, and it's on the verge of leveling up. Otherwise, its danger rating would be extremely low, not just low. Such a powerful monster could easily rip apart a standard first-level mech. If Ren Zijing and the others weren't using quality gear, not some regular junk, and if I hadn't just arrived, I'd probably only be able to gather their bodies. Seeing another enemy show up, the two-headed monster let out a roar, charging at me quickly. Then its large mouth lunged right at me. Careful, Ren Zijing shouted a warning. He knew very well how dangerous that mouth was. The heavy, reinforced armor of the mech was like paper in front of that mouth. Nothing more than a toy. The next second, his eyes widened in shock. The black and gold mech actually grabbed the huge mouth with impossibly fast reflexes and held on tight. Then, using both hands, the black and gold mech forcefully tore it apart. The giant mouth on the dog's head was ripped brutally in half. Such an insanely savage scene made Ren Zijing and the rest gasp in horror. Yu Lang, who was just waking up from fainting, almost passed out again from fright. Sure, he used to play those band games all the time, but a game is one thing, reality is another. No matter how ugly a monster in the game was, he could face it calmly. But in real life, even a common blood zombie was enough to scare him senseless. One side of the body was attacked. The woman's head suddenly let out a shrill scream. The piercing sound made Huang Ting's head pound with pain. I extended my claws and slashed across the two-headed monster. Swish! The two-headed monster was instantly sliced in half by my claws. The cut was smooth like a mirror. Elite two-headed fused blood. Zombie killed. Instantly, a list of loot appeared before my eyes. By habit, I scrolled to the end. The Hellhound Fang is a very unique item. Once equipped, a special dog head pattern appears on the chest plate. This pattern can block attacks from the front. And during close combat, it can also transform into a giant mouth to attack enemies. You can equip up to 6 modules. They cover the head, torso, both arms, and both legs. The claw form takes up the right hand slot, and Hellhound Fang takes up the torso. So, that means I can still equip 4 more modules. Attachments are basically extensions of the mech's abilities. They might look like skills, but you can't equip unlimited modules. Normally you can only equip 6. If you want other attachments, you have to swap them out. I grabbed the Hellhound Fang and pressed it into my chest. A dog head emblem instantly appeared there.